Happy Friday. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining me from in the world. Hopefully the tech issues are behind us. Hopefully you can see me okay, you can hear me okay. I got excited because as I played the intro, little Shuri walked in, she did her claws, and she left. Because little Shuri is an enigma. But my goodness, I think we ended up having a bit more news than I expected. There was, of course, holiday in China. You're back. Are you going to say hello? Okay, you just got grievances for me. So I wasn't sure what we would get this week, but we probably got a little bit more news than I expected. And I finally, after 3 years of being on pre-order, I got my SooSoo Toys Deathstroke. Look at little Shuri. There she is. You going to show them your tail? You're going to show them your magnificent tail? No, okay, you're just going to talk to me. Deathstroke's finally here. Picked him up from the post office today, so we'll unbox Deathstroke after we get through the newsy news. Quite keen to get a first-hand look. I've seen a few photos online, but obviously it's a bit different when we get to unbox it. So thanks for coming to hang out. If you're here, maybe hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Let's see who's here to hang out with me this Friday. I've got the Toy Collector. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you. We've got Tiny Art Guy. Hi, Helen and chat. Currently on holiday on the beautiful island of Kos, Greece. My country of heritage. Where else would you rather be? The locals are super friendly. I'm glad to hear it. I think we're known for our hospitality, so I'm glad to hear the locals friendly. I think I saw a photo. I know I saw the photo of the cat, but I saw a picture of Tiny Art Guy and Mrs. Tiny Art Guy, and looked like you were having a lovely time on holiday. So I hope you guys have a great time in Greece. Toten's collection. Can I ask where you bought the Deathstroke from? I got mine from Giant Toy. I think they're sold out now. So if you're going to say, where can I get it from? I don't know. I also had a pre-order with William Wang, which I guess I'm never getting because, you know, Willie Wang's not followed up with the invoice. So I feel quite vindicated in my decision early last year to see the writing on the wall with William and get all my SooSoo Toys pre-orders with Giant Toy. So this arrived today. Very excited to unbox him, but I'm not really sure who might have stock. Apologies. But as I say, Giant Toy is my go-to for SooSoo Toys figures. We've got Gilbert. Greetings, everyone. Glad to be here. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Hope you're doing well. Gilbert, Kyle's here. Hello to you. Hope you're doing well. AJ Agrissa. Greetings, Helen and friends. Hope all is well. I'm good, AJ. Hope you are. Hope Mrs. Ashley's doing well too. We have Hawk Benji. Happy Friday. Nanchaku City. I don't know what that means. Laura's here. Hello, friends. Hello to you, Laura. Hope you're doing well. Got Raymond here as well. Hey, Raymond. Laura says, hi, Shuri. Yeah, she's running in and out. So who knows what Shuri may or may not do today. She's a girl on the go. AC Toyman is here. Hello there. Hello to you. Laura says, hi, Deathstroke. I know, I'm so excited. Not the Deathstroke I wanted. I wanted Manu Bennett Deathstroke from Arrow, but that's never happening. So I've settled for this Justice League Deathstroke because I felt like the suit had some somewhat similar vibes to the one on Arrow. So it's going to go in my Arrowverse display because I wanted some villains in there. Dude, are you all right? My goodness. 1/6 of the Force. Hello, guys. Hope all is well. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Do I get nervous when heavily Star Wars-centric usernames are in the chat? Absolutely, because I think I've got nothing to offer you on this channel, and I don't particularly want to be trolled. I do the trolling around here, but welcome. Hello. Uncarded Reviews is here. Kalimera one and all. Kalimera to you. Hope you're doing well. I think Tiny Art Guy will be saying a lot of Kalimera at the moment. Mike says, hey everyone, it's Friday already. I'm not mad at that. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm not mad at that either. I am not mad at all. Raymond says, surprise yesterday as the first pictures of in-hand Ghostbusters 2.0 from Blitzway were shown. Strange with no official release post by Blitzway. Yeah, I saw one guy posting all the pictures, and I want to wait before we talk about the Ghostbusters, because I didn't want to base my impression on one lot of pictures from one person. So I thought it was interesting. I would have thought as well. I would have thought there would have been some announcement from Blitzway, some photos or a little video to say it was out. So it was very random to just have that one guy posting photos. I don't know where that has come from. The Broke Collector's here. Hello to you. Shout out to all the mums out there. Even cat mums count. Thank you. I wasn't sure. Like, in Australia, it's Mother's Day on Sunday. And all I know is in England, Mother's Day is in March. So I wasn't sure if everyone has Mother's Day in May or March. It really confused me. But absolutely, any mums, human mums, fur baby mums, happy Mother's Day to you. I think Shuri thinks she's my mum, believe it or not. So, yeah, she probably thinks I should be buying her a gift. But every day is Shuri's day. We've got Ace. Hello, Helen. Everyone, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. We've got Paul. Hello, everybody. Hello to you, Paul. I don't know how to pronounce what you're saying, Ben, and I don't know if that's a real place or a fictional place, so apologies. It's late and I'm tired. I realized this is probably the worst time I could stream, like at the end of the week, at night. Consistent cousin turns up. King Dingling is here. Hello all. Hello to you. Uncut reviews. I once shared a pint of Guinness with Manu at Dragon Con years ago, back when Spartacus was popular. Very nice fellow. I love Manu. I've met him. I met him at a con here in Australia. And yeah, I thought he was fantastic as Deathstroke. I thought he was great. Didn't like what they did to the character. But yeah, just seems like a good dude and was just very fan-friendly, very giving to the fans. So yeah, I'm kind of not surprised to hear that he would do something like that. I as I say, big fan of Manu's, and I absolutely loved him as Slade Wilson / Deathstroke. Figure fan for life. Canada here. Yes, I'm a mum to a 21-year-old. Sunday is our Mother's Day, TGF. Okay, cool. Well, welcome to you. I always love it when female collectors find me. That's delightful. Happy Mother's Day to you, Figure Fan for Life. Good to see you again this week. Shall we venture into the newsy news? Let's do that. First off, I want to take a moment to acknowledge and thank my awesome channel members. The list keeps growing, which stuns me, because when I set this up, I was not sure what to expect, but we're edging up towards 20 people, which is incredible. So huge thank you to The Broke Collector, AJ Agrusa, Pop Culture Living Room, Kevin LaFranc, Aaron Broverman, Tijuana Mike, Keith Lee, Valkyrie Magnus, Ms. Batwoman, Bob Dylan, Blue Tattoo, Winman42, Blurred Dad Life, Moose Dream, Tiny Art Guy, Anthony Stanfield, Figure Posing Channel, Ramstein Fan, Hawk Benji, Batman Collectibles, Gojo 2005, and Big Rib. I think you'll deserve a little bit of applause. Thank you. Appreciate all of you guys. Guys, I know everyone was focused on May the 4th, but I'm focused on the fact we are edging up to the 1-year anniversary of the disappearance of William Wang. And because we had more newsy news than anticipated, I'm going to do my little commemorative segment next week, because let's pass that 1-year milestone. Let's not give him an opportunity to troll us and magically reappear, which I'm pretty sure he won't do. But anyway, regardless, I keep this PSA up there, you know. William Wang, One Man's Hobby website. Please avoid. The guy's been missing for a year. He literally has hundreds and thousands of dollars of people's money. He's not responding to messages. He's not delivering products. And if you buy something or drop a PO, you may as well set your money on fire, because you are not going to get whatever it is that you've ordered. And just a reminder for anyone else who might be new, if you did order the Jazz Inc. Catwoman through William, I know that Jazz Inc. were being very accommodating in letting people transfer their pre-orders to Jazz Inc. directly. So if you've got proof of your deposit, I would recommend you do that. Jazz Inc. indicated to some Australian collectors that William has defaulted on his payments on those Catwoman figures. So at least that's one pre-order that you might be able to get a little bit of recourse for. So once again, this is not a good time. And I keep it up there because that website's still up there. And every now and then I still see people asking about William Wang, One Man's Hobby. And I'm like, I need to keep doing this until it's more well-known or that website finally comes down, because it's not a good time. It's not a good time. SooSoo Toys. If there's one thing I feel like I know about SooSoo Toys, well, two things. One, they're a little bit slow, hence, you know, I sometimes call them So Slow Toys. I feel like they like to jump on a little bit of a hype bandwagon, and I think this was very clever. Obviously, we had the older Blade figure that was released. People liked certain things about it, didn't like other things about it. So SooSoo Toys this week decided we're going to do Vampire Hunter 2.0. They did release a Blade figure. I think it was late last year. I think Raymond was telling me that was from like the third movie. This is more from the first movie, is my understanding. I think it's a smart move. Do I think this is actually going to release in Q1 2027? No, I do not. Take any estimate from SooSoo Toys on release dates with a grain of salt. But do I think this is a clever move? Absolutely. If you want original movie Blade and you don't want to pay custom prices, this is an option for you. If you're getting the Hot Toys Blade and you've gone, gee, I wish you had a jacket, or I wish I had a younger head sculpt, this figure is going to give you an opportunity to mix and match those parts. Because trust me when I say buying this is probably going to be cheaper than buying a custom head sculpt and finding someone to do the jacket. So as I said, I think this is a very clever move by SooSoo. But as I said, do I have confidence that they're releasing this in January 2027? Absolutely not. I waited 3 years for Deathstroke, so whether this does or doesn't come out then, I don't know. But as I said, I think this is a nice way to get some of those accessories for your Hot Toys Deadpool and Wolverine Blade if you did want to give him a bit of a glow up. Because I do think the suit looks nice. There's a lot of things about it. Some people, as I say, didn't have the coat. People wanted a younger head sculpt. You can pick and mix between the SooSoo Toys and the Hot Toys one. What an age we live in. And I do think I'm looking at these pictures going, I like the look of it. I'm pretty much would bet money that this is not leather, but hopefully it's some kind of a durable material. But to me, I'm looking at it and going, it looks nice. Was a little bit surprised that we didn't get any pictures of the head sculpt without the sunglasses on. I think it looks nice with the sunglasses on, but what's going on underneath, we don't really know. I did see some people asking SooSoo about having a picture without the glasses on, but I don't really know what the chances are that that's actually going to happen. So as I said, I think it looks really nice. I think it's a clever move, and it's a pretty simple release as far as what you're getting. You're getting the figure itself, you're getting a few hands, you're getting a few weapons. As I said, I think this is a smart play from SooSoo Toys. So let's have a look at the comments. Piero collects. Is this Spanish? I'm really sorry. I don't understand what you're asking me. Something about Red Hulk. I'm sorry. I speak English and Greek. I've only got the two languages, so apologies. Uncut Review says, I'll tell you what's a good time. I scored both Star Wars Artisan pre-orders for Qui-Gon and... Do you mean Anakin? Or do you mean Daniken? I'm probably missing out on some Star Wars joke. It's very possible. Raymond says, I'm extremely happy with SooSoo Toys releasing their Blade and announcing another one. So a slot opened up for the Siberian Customs figure, which I instantly grabbed up. Oh, really? It's interesting. Okay, people potentially cancelling the custom to get the cheaper SooSoo Toys one. Interesting. I would have thought people would more be wanting to get the custom one, but okay, fair enough. I mean, swings and roundabouts. Good luck for you. Figure Fan for Life says that blade looks good. I agree. I think it looks really nice. AJ says, I'm really tempted by this blade figure. I may wait to see Hot Toys one in hand first. Yeah, as I said, I feel like there's a nice opportunity to pick and mix the parts. Oh, hang on. Windman42 coming in with the assist. The jacket is leather, really. Pants are not, is my understanding. If that is a leather jacket, I do then, it kind of more makes me reiterate that feeling of if you're getting the Hot Toys one, but you're like, oh, it would look better with the coat and I want a younger blade. I do feel like you can pick and mix between the two. That's a huge win if that jacket is leather. Hawk says the previous SooSoo Toys Blade figure with the 2 head sculpts is awesome with leather soft goods. Okay, did not realize it was actually leather. I hope this 2.0 will not take 3 years. I mean, as I said, so slow. You never know what you're getting with them. Even some of these figures that they've said will be a quicker turnaround, like the 3 X-Men figures they announced. What was it? It was like the Sabretooth, the X-23 and the Storm. They were meant to be pretty quick turnaround figures. Haven't seen them. They also talked at Christmas time about a Season 9 Flash, which was going to be one of these 300 figures, not much of a PO window, and that's never happened. So as I said, I take all of their estimates with a grain of salt because, as I said, I'm still waiting for 3 more figures that were meant to have been released a long time ago. Mike says this looks good for third party. They've been stepping up as of late. They kind of have to with the latest releases from licensed companies. I've always toyed with the idea of third party, but never pulled the trigger. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's some people on YouTube land that really try to give third party a bad name. I have a lot of third party figures in my collection. I would probably estimate that maybe a third of my collection is third-party figures. And I think for the most part, like the brands that you are familiar with have pretty solid releases. Like the issues I've had with SooSoo Toys, I think in the grand scheme of things are probably minor things. Like some of their figures have had hands that don't connect that solidly to the wrist peg, but that's something that I can fix. Who else have I got? I've got some Viminal and 11 figures, which I think are really nice. I've got some Thunder Toys figures. Like I for the most part, I've been pretty happy with them, and I always feel like I defend them a bit, but also I miss them because I feel like there's a real gap in the market when it comes to those supporting characters that Hot Toys are never going to make. And that and the Kojin Works of the world are probably never going to get the licenses to. So things like getting an actual Wong figure, to go with, one of your MCU collections. For me, it was Thunder Toys doing the Valkyrie, Red Guardian, Ghost, John Walker. Like there's so many times that third party has stepped up and filled in a gap that a licensed company won't do. So I'm always kind of grateful for that because I really loved the Arrowverse. I've got a big collection of those figures, and none of them are officially licensed because by the time Hot Toys got that license, it was too late. So as I said, I feel like there's a lot of brands out there that you can trust. Are they always 100% perfect? They're not, but I think they're really solid for what you get. So yeah, I do probably have a lot of love for third party figures. Uncarded Review says Siberian customs to SooSoo Toys hold my blade. I mean, you would hope a custom figure is going to be better than something mass produced. I mean, you'd want to for the price tag, right? Ramstein fans here. Howdy, Helen, Shuri, wherever you are. I mean, you missed her. She came in. We saw a little bit of her in the corner, and she ran out. So I don't know where she is. Maybe she'll come back. Ramstein fan has this on pre-order. Can't wait. Yeah, I mean, don't hold your breath for January 2027, Ramstein fan, because I don't think that is going to happen. Sabretooth has released. Yes, that has released, but then the X-23 and the Storm, there's been no word of. And they were all announced at the same time under the same premise of 300 figures, quick turnaround. Where are the other two? I don't know. I don't know where they are. Tremble Dust says, saw a video on SooSoo the Creed. Looks cool. Not for me personally, even though I'm an X-Men fan. But still, I do have X-23 and Storm Order. Yeah, I haven't watched any videos about it. When they announced all three, I definitely felt like the Creed was maybe the weakest of the three. Like the Storm and the X-23 looked like really nice figures to me. So yeah, I did think it was interesting that that was the one that came out first. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Phil's Toys and Things. That's a new username. Hello. I have the previous SooSoo Toys Blade release, and I'm very tempted to get this one as it's the first movie Blade and the best outfit. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. That's what Raymond was saying to me, that the previous one was Blade 3 and that this would probably have a lot of interest. And I as I said, I still think that opportunity to mix and match some of the parts from this with some of the parts from the Hot Toys Deadpool and Wolverine figure is something I can picture being very appealing to people. Figure Fan for Life says, I have Penguin by Eternal Toys and DJ Customs Forrest Gump, plus the 12th scale Prank Villain Joker. Wanted the 6th scale, but mistakenly ordered the 12th. Cute figure, though. I like my third-party buys. Yeah, I mean, I have that Eternal Toys Penguin as well. And again, is it perfect? No. Is it pretty good? Yeah. And at that time, did we have another Penguin? No, we didn't. So for me, I have it. I'm very happy with it as well. Mike says it's absolutely a good thing that third party can fill those missing character gaps. Personally, I'm okay with that having companion characters, but Hot Toys does a supporting interested in an old bite. Yeah, I mean, Hot Toys doesn't do lines the way they used to. And I am, as you could probably tell with what's behind me, and if you've seen my collection tour, I like a line. I like to build out a display from a movie or an IP. I know some people are happy to have just singular standalone characters. It's kind of not how I like to collect. So for me, I do kind of miss those days when they would do a lot of figures from different movies. Windman says, I would personally say, just my opinion, this SooSoo Toys Blade head sculpt is superior to the custom Siberian one. Really? Not speaking of body, soft goods, extra, just the sculpt. Oh, interesting. I do wish they had given us a photo without the glasses on. I think that would have been nice. Are the weapons from SooSoo Toys for this Blade die cast by any chance? I am not sure. I'm sure someone else might have a bit more of the details. I do think some of the weapons for Deathstroke might be die cast, so maybe the swords might be. Hawk says the SooSoo Toys previous Blade did take 3 years from first announcement to production delivery, but that being said, the head sculpt from the first version may be repurposed, so I hope we'll see production sooner. Yeah, I hope so too. And that's the thing, because I kind of wondered, are they doing it as a bit of a 2.0 but with some slight differences to get away with doing it again? I don't know. But as I said, I still think it's a really smart move from them to announce this the way they did. I don't want anyone to bet their house on the fact this is releasing in January, because I will only see it when I believe it. Austin is here. What's up, Helen? I'm enjoying the conversation. Nice to see you, Austin. I hope you're doing well. Tremble Dust says the first version's weapons were not die cast, so thinking no with the version 2, but we'll see. Okay, interesting. So guys, SooSoo Toys. Now we've got to do the Star Wars. Did I want to do the Star Wars? Of course not. Are you new here? But, I made a commitment that I would speed date Star Wars, and I'd do it in 60 seconds. What does Windman say? Yes, the SooSoo Toys info says 1 metal foldable sword with scabbard. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure the Deathstroke swords are die cast, so that would make sense. They may already have molds and materials. We'll see. You guys know how this works. I put a minute on my timer. Talk about the Star Wars. I bless myself. because I need the strength from above. Let's talk about the Star Wars. What a treat. What a treat. Let's have a little drink before we talk about the Star Wars. These are all my delaying tactics. All right, 60 seconds. Let's get this done so we can move on with better things. Star Wars fans are never happy, and you can't change my mind. Since the start of April, Hot Toys has announced and or released 17 Star Wars figures. 17, 1-7. We've had these guys. We've had these figures as well. We've also had 3 artisan figures, and I'm pretty confident that with every announcement, there has been some grievances, some unrest from the Star Wars fans. So why don't we take a look back at what upset Star Wars fans this week? They were upset by this Ahsoka figure. They don't like the head sculpt. They don't like the outfit, even though they give you things to change up the look of the outfit in case the shoulder seams offend you or the tube top offends you. You've got options, but that's not good enough. Star Wars Ra's al Ghul, he doesn't have a swap out hairpiece. What a fail. And then Anakin artisan version. We have so many people, when the first artisan Anakin came out, so upset there wasn't a sculpted release. So Hot Toys, they keep giving you same, slightly different artisan Anakin, so everybody has a go at an artisan Anakin. But it's not enough. We're not happy. Boo everything. Because Star Wars fans are never happy. And you can't change my mind. And I went over. But that's my prerogative. The Star Wars. The Star Wars. Oh, AJ, bless your heart. Here we go. Best 60 seconds on the internet. Thank you. I feel like I should use that as like a quote for my stream. That's high praise. I'm going to be very selective with my comments because do I want to get into a conversation about the Star Wars? Absolutely not. No Yoda pick. Yes, there was. Where is he? There. Look, there's Yoda. He's with Man Boobs and Grogu. He's there. Mike, I mean, I'm a happy Star Wars fan. Are you? Because you would be the only one. You would be the only one if you were happy. Star Wars Ra's al Ghul. Yes, that's his name. Star Wars Ra's al Ghul. Just like Natalie Portman is Star Wars Jane Foster. And Samuel L. Jackson is Star Wars Nick Fury. These are their official names. I will not enter a debate about this. Laura says, oh boy, people were upset about that Anakin. I'm happy. I ordered Zeb and I'm good. They get so much. And they're so unhappy. 17. 17. And I'm sure there's still people upset that nothing was announced on May the 4th, even though there was an avalanche on May the 3rd. But hey. Hey. Helen, stop speed talking Star Wars. The faster you go, the more Howard announces. I don't think that's how it works. But anyway, let's move on from the Star Wars because I cannot. Let's have a conversation, folks. Because the title of this stream, Hot Toys, Red Hulk and Rain Visible Joint Woes. Should we have a talk about it? Let's have a talk about it. This Rain figure was released this week. I'm not normally someone that gets annoyed at joints. I don't know if this is blogger pictures or if it's the figure itself. Like, I'm going to wait to see some in-hand footage. But gee, the bloggers did Hot Toys no favor with how much wrist joint we're seeing in these pictures. But also, there is several pictures where it doesn't even look like the skin texture of the silicone arm and the hand match that well. So again, I'm not gonna, oh, the sky's falling. I'm keen to see some in-hand video footage. Because again, I don't know if this is just bad lighting, if it is actually the way I've perceived it to be in some blogger pictures. Because as I said, a wrist peg or a visible joint, I can kind of live with. But if there's a skin tone difference, I'm not a fan of that. And you know what? If I was getting this figure, I would be buying another one of those sweatbands and covering up that wristband. I actually wish the wrist peg, I wish they gave the extra ones to do that, even if it's not screen accurate. Give people the option. Let's talk about a positive. Branded Reebok shoes, what a treat. Hot Toys is really getting the most out of whatever licensing they've paid to Reebok. So I did like seeing the Reebok branded shoes. What a treat. But as I said, like, look at this photo on the left. That wrist joint really stands out so badly. And there are photos where it doesn't even look like the skin matches. And I think it's such a shame because I look at the rest of this figure. It's a cloth outfit, so it's going to be posable. There's some really cool accessories there. Nice diorama base. You've got her big F-off weapon thing. I think you can do some cool poses with it. But I think we're reaching a point where I think people are wanting more realism. And this is sometimes where I think maybe Hot Toys also needs to be a little bit pickier with their blogger pictures. Because it felt very hard to find pictures where your eye just wasn't drawn to that wrist peg. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like sometimes you see the connection, but you don't always necessarily see the round joint underneath. And I felt like there were so many pictures where even when the hand wasn't doing dramatic things, you could see like the round wrist peg underneath. So I'm keen to know from you guys, are you getting it? What do you think about it? Does it bother you? Are you just going to find a way to cover up? Because I said, for me, I kind of feel like the quick fix would be maybe you pull the arm sleeve down, maybe you get another wristband, maybe you put the watch on one hand and the wristband on the other, problem solved. I think there's little solutions you can come up with, but I totally appreciate a lot of people are going to be like, you know what, Helen, I don't want to have to come up with anything. I want to have better options. And I understand that. I can see both points of the argument. As I said, I'm really keen to see more in-hand footage because the hands and the arms don't look like a skin tone match to me in a lot of images. And if that is the case, I think that's a pretty big misstep from Hot Toys. Let me see what you guys are saying. Kyle is a happy Star Wars fan too. Oh, bless your heart. We found two of them. What a treat. The Broke Collector says she has a sweatband and a watch. Both wrist joints can be covered easily. I don't see the controversy. I can't wait till she gets here. And that's what I totally agree. And that's what I'd be doing. If it was me, I'd be covering those bad boys up. But I do, as I said, I'm keen to know if there is a difference in the skin texture between the hands and the arms. Rain Carradine, no idea who this is. Any relation to David Carradine? I don't know who David Carradine is, but this is from Alien Romulus. AJ says, I feel I could hide the joints okay with posing the gun right, but I'll see when I get it in hand. I'll be keen to hear what you think of the skin texture when you get it in hand, AJ. Yes, it's Alien, Mike. It's Alien. I'm probably going to say her name wrong. I'm so sorry. That Callie Spaney figure looks terrible. The visible wrist joints on Rain, Red Hulk, and Hot Girl Summer Ahsoka are very, very off-putting. As I said, I can live with them if you can conceal them. Like with Ahsoka, I don't get it. Like she's got her backpack thing with whatever that creature is. She's got her cloak. They're giving you two very obvious ways to hide it. Hulk is a whole other thing. We'll talk about Hulk next. But I just, yeah, as I said, I I think with a figure like this, where you've got those accessories and it's easy to cover up, with other figures, like let's say with Bane, same thing. You've got the one leather cuff, you can cover it up. But the other one, what do you do? What do you do? Ace doesn't think the likeness is there. I'm the worst person to judge because I don't really know much about this character. Figure Fan for Life says, I have the Scorch Xeno. This would look good together. Love this base. I love the base. The little alien creature has some like articulation to it, which I think is really cool. As I said, I think there's a lot to like about this. I think it's just, and as I say, I'm not normally a person who gets hung up on this stuff, but I just think it stands out so much on this figure. So yeah, it's interesting. And I find it interesting how many people are saying that they would just cover it up. Because as I said, that's what I feel like I would do. But I do think there's a lot of people that would be like, no, we shouldn't have to do that. It should be perfect. So this is where I'm always keen to get your views on this kind of stuff. Because I'm like, is it me or are other people of a similar point of view? Figure Fan for Life says, I'm debating adding her, can cover up the joint, no problem. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people saying that. So Trembledust says, pass for me, joint showing as much as it does, if only for the one wrist does irk me, cool figure otherwise. And as I said, it has a lot going for it. I did find it interesting that a lot of people were saying they were going to use like the sculpt for like a Last of Us Ellie. I was like, okay, interesting. And I mean, yeah, this is more like I just felt like you see a lot of the peg underneath, and then I do feel like in some of the pictures the skin texture doesn't match well. But that said, there were some pictures, and Hot Toys probably should have shown a bit more of these, where through the posing it's covered up and you don't even notice it. So I did find these 3 pictures where like, you know what? When you don't see that wrist peg for your eye to be drawn to it, as I said, there is a lot to like about this. It's going to be really poseable, interesting accessories, cool base. You got the weapons. She's going to articulate really, really well. Like, it ticks so many boxes. Hot Toys. AJ says, I'm glad they did Rain from Alien Romulus, and I'll be happy to add her to my collection. However, can they please do, is it Naru from Prey? They've done multiple Predators, but not the main character. I mean, if Howie, if you're listening. Uncarded Review says the drop-off from prototype for this figure is pretty drastic. Looks like Hot Toys got halfway through production and just gave up. The clothes look worse than third-party unlicensed. Wow. Interesting. I always hope this is how to say your name. Raz 2010able. I'm getting this figure and I plan to use a long sleeve jacket or wristband to cover the exposed wrist. Sometimes there's quick and easy fixes, but as I say, I feel like whenever I say that to people, they're like, it's not the point, it shouldn't be like that. And I'm like, but again, I just feel like if you can fix it, why wouldn't you fix it? And they didn't even make an Andy figure as a companion. Missed opportunity. I'm sorry. Rain and Ahsoka are coming home. They are toys all good. I feel like no one was happy about that Ahsoka figure, seriously. Trembledust says, honestly, for me, once you go seamless, it's hard to go back to visible joints. I get you can cover up, but with Ahsoka, didn't always have the cloak or the backpack, to each their own. To each their own is probably a good way to think of it. 14 Wellington is here. Hiya, hello to you. So Uncarded Review says, since I have this on pre-order, I'm going to put this Rain figure in my X-Men display with X-23. She can be one of the new mutants from that last Wolverine movie, Logan. Oh, maybe. Mike says, my feeling is that I shouldn't have to modify a figure that I'm paying as much as I am for. Simple mods like an armband, okay. But if I have to go beyond that, then it's something I'd probably pass on. Windman says, I didn't get this, but I would cover up the wrist with the wristband. That would not stop me from getting it. If they do a new Ripley, then I will grab this. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Trembledust says, a lot of people have been wanting Naru from Prey. I swear Hot Toys will announce her 5 years from now. Suck my head. Logic plus Hot Toys don't mix. No, Logic plus Hot Toys never mixes. It doesn't mix at all. At all. As I said, when you hide that wrist peg, I think it looks really nice. And you can do it. But as I said, I think this is an interesting conversation to have because, as was already mentioned, I think, as we are moving to, the figures that have actually swap out forearms, not just swap out hands, love them or hate them, some of the stuff that Kojin Works is doing with silicon, there are some people that are really wanting that realism. And it's an interesting conversation, I think, to have. Because for me, I kind of look at it as it's a collectible. And I think that's why I can be a little bit forgiving about it. I know there's other people like, no, I want this to look like a real mini person. So, as I say, I genuinely find it interesting to hear people's different views on these things. Red Hulk. This was a little bit of a surprise. Bit of a later announcement today. We are, a little bit over a year away from this movie being released. The Captain America figure, of course, came out pretty quickly. So I am keen to know if people have this on pre-order, whether you're watching live or in the stream now. Are you still hyped for this? I feel like we can talk about the movie a bit more now. I was really surprised at how little we saw Red Hulk on screen. So for me, I thought Hot Toys even making this was a big surprise to me. I could have seen a world where they kind of didn't go there because how much screen time did Red Hulk have? Not a lot, really. I will say up front that I think the head sculpts look really good. I think straight up the bat, I see Harrison Ford. I think it's a really nice likeness in the head sculpts. And again, this is where we come back to the visible joint woes. Because I can understand maybe this wasn't a figure that got a huge amount of pre-orders. As I said, I think the movie was okay, not great. There wasn't a lot of this character on screen. But I think we're in a time now where people are not wanting to see as many visible joints, but also I think they're wanting to see an evolution with Hot Toys figures. And I do wonder if some of the frustration with the joints in this figure is because people are hoping that Hot Toys will 2.0 an Avengers Hulk figure. They want that to be seamless. We've had other figures with bigger bodies like Venom figures that don't really have those visible joints. So there is part of me that does wonder, is the want for a Mark Ruffalo Hulk 2.0 and wanting that to not have the seams and the joints, visible joints, is that what's driving some of the criticism? Because I said, I really can't feel like this is a figure that's getting huge pre-order numbers, and maybe I'm wrong. So again, this is where I'm keen to hear from you guys on this. There's some of these joints that I'm not mad about. I don't know what they've done to these knees. These knees are quite different to the original Hulk, and I think they almost look like an awkward sock. And I know I've got the original Avengers Hulk, and I've tried to pose him in a way to sort of minimize the view of the seams. I think that one's probably lucky that the shorts are a bit longer as well. But I don't know, they've changed something with this knee design, because I think a lot of the joints are similar to what we had with the Avengers Hulk. And as I said, if this has had low numbers and they're just churning it out, I get it. But I think we are, it's got to be a good 10 years from that Hulk. And I can understand people having the desire for this to have gotten better with time, not potentially taken a step back with whatever is going on with those knees. So I can understand that. But as I said, part of me does wonder if the frustration is more, we want you to do a Mark Ruffalo Hulk 2.0. We want it seamless. And we maybe hoped this would be a seamless Hulk that you could then repurpose to do that. And you didn't do it. So now we're worried you're not going to get the thing that we really want. And this is where it's interesting to have the side-by-side pictures of the two figures, because I think that's where you do see how many of the joints are still there and are the same. But as I said, this knee is like not it. You see it here with this photo on the left, where it looks like it's a piece that's just clipped into a leg. And to me, it even looks like there's a little bit of a gap there, which is not a great look at all. I dug up a picture of the Hulk to kind of show the knees, and you see the knees there are kind of more of a straight line cut, whereas what they've done here, where it's kind of, as I say, it almost looks like a boot. I don't think that's an improvement. So I can appreciate, I think if they'd kept it the way it was, I personally think that would have been better than whatever this situation is here with the Red Hulk leg, because it's not great. And as I said, it's a shame, because I think you look at the sculpt looks really nice. I think we can definitely see there's some differences in the body, in the musculature. But those legs are not good. They're not good at all. Let me see what you guys have to say. Oh, many comments, many comments. Mike says this Red Hulk from the waist up, I love, but with those knee joints are absolutely disgrace. Sorry if that's a bit hard. I agree. I don't disagree. And even, I think because the chest is a little bit different, even the seam, like you see this middle picture, it kind of, even the way it's like shaped around the chest, it looks a bit awkward in some of the shots. But yeah, I think the top half definitely looks better than the bottom half. As I say, those legs are not great. And I do think, I think the older version is better, which I don't think should be the situation we're in, that something 10 years ago, 10 years plus, is better than something released today. It shouldn't be like that. Figure Fan for Life says, not getting Red Hulk, have 2 green ones. That's enough for me. These are big for display shelves. They certainly are. They certainly are. I have the original Avengers Hulk, and I absolutely love it. Uncarded Review says, all kidding aside, I'm sure that each of these figures is a grail to someone, and it looks perfectly fine to them, and that's awesome. We celebrate the small victories where we can. I'm curious, though, if this is a grail to someone, is that more based on comic Red Hulk and not Captain America Red Hulk? Like, genuine question. Because as I said, he's not in the movie that much. Tremble Dust says, at Red Hulk. Again, it's the once you go seamless effect for me. I get it. It would be a decent investment to do a seamless Hulk body, but I think people would pay for it. And I mean, that's another conversation in and of itself, Tremble Dust, because I feel like people want all those deluxe features, but then they complain about the price of Hot Toys, and you will get custom artists that will do this stuff, and they don't want to go near that pricing. So this is where I'm like, I think, and I mean, Hot Toys have gotten more expensive. I'm living in a country where if it's under $500 for a Hot Toy, I'm taking it as a win. I do think, as I say, it's that catch-22 where if you want that stuff, the price is going to go up. But if people aren't happy with the current prices, will they be prepared to pay more to get that? I don't know. But then, as I said, I've seen other characters like Venom be done and have less sort of seams and joints, if any. I mean, She-Hulk is, you've just got the wrist joint, and that's it. Laura says, I kind of understand the joints on a figure like Hulk, though. How expensive would a full silicone body be, and how durable would that be? I think this is where, Laura, I think doing what they did with, like, the Weapon X would be the way to do it. Like, have some joints that we don't see under the sort of shorts, like the legs sort of clip in. You're probably going to have the torso clip in, because I think that takes some of the stress off, because it's not a fully one-piece silicone body. So I think there's ways to do it. But again, I do wonder, was this ever going to have volume enough to justify that? And I mean, are we ever going to get Hulk in that original form again for them to go, we'll make that investment because we know that's coming down the line? Ace says, Hulk looks good. It does look like they used the old Hulk body for it. For visible joints, if you go seamless, they become unposable or have ugly creases because 3.0 uses it. I'm not really familiar with what 3.0 is doing. Laura says, yeah, I think if someone is getting Red Hulk, it's more because they're a big comic book Hulk fan. I have to think so. Ace says older Hulk still looks better. I have that original Hulk and I still really love it. Oh, I feel like I missed a whole bunch of comments. I jumped. Hell to the no on red puke. Is that what we're calling it? Awkward sock band name, I called it. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you guys are with me on the knees. Mark says the knee joint looks horrible, but maybe it looks better in hand. I don't think so, because even this picture, it looks like there's a gap. It looks, it looks, do you know what it looks like? Like when you get a third-party body and they give you like those thigh extenders and you clip them on and they don't look great, but then you're not meant to see them. So you don't care. But in this application, you see them and you do care. We've got some people loving the name Red Puke. Trembledust says the knees have definitely changed, look more like boots versus what was on previous Hulks. 100%. Totally agree with you. Uncut Review says, oh my, that first green Red Hulk picture, what are they doing? Oh, goodness, I don't know. What was Zord doing? They're wrestling. It's fine. Mind out of the gutter. Mike says it's not screen accurate, but just make the pants a little longer to cover the knees like they used to wear in the 90s. And I'm down for little mods like that, but I know people get very upset because I think of things like the Love and Thunder Valkyrie, and I wish they had made the sleeve of her vest wider so you don't notice that shoulder joint as much. Like, I have no problem with them taking little liberties like that to assist with the aesthetic. But I think just how low, like the way it goes under the kneecap, like he would essentially be wearing pants. Because I think with the Avengers 1 Hulk, it is that cut right under the knee. So I think, as I said, with posing, you can kind of hide it a bit better with the shorts. But the way they've done it down like that, I just don't think it's a great decision. I think I've caught up to the comments, or not. Tim Wanamakisi, happy Friday, everyone. We need another Green Hulk. I think that's what people really want at the end of the day. I absolutely, and as I said, I feel like some of the frustration with the Red Hulk is because people had hoped the investment would be made, seamless Hulk, and that would lead to an Avengers 2.0. Because I do think at the end of the day, that's what people want. They want to see an Avengers 1.0 Hulk redone, seamless body. 100%, I believe that. Trembledust says, I agree, some would complain, but I believe others won't and get why it's a higher price. I think you'll get people complaining about anything every time. 100%. Mark says, we have to accept joints on these massive bodies like Hulk and Venom. I don't know that Venom figures have that many visible joints like this, though, right? I don't feel like they do, but I don't own any, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Uncarded V says, I'm getting Red Hulk because I'm a Harrison Ford fan and I like seeing him angry. Well, there you go. Austin says, I think it's for these companies to get away from swap out hands and move more towards articulated fingers. It's time. I don't know. I'm not on the fully silicon bandwagon as yet. Defective? It'll be good for customs. You think? I don't know. Trembledust says, regards to the seamless body, there being creases, real skin shows creases when it's bent. This is very true. This is very true. Natalie Harris is here. Afternoon, Helen. Hope you're well. I'm good. Thanks, Natalie. I hope you're good too. Nice to see you in the chat. Ben says, I don't know whether to call you Hawk or Ben. I interchange between the two. Apologies. My concerns if the Hulk was ever produced with a seamless body over time, how would the seamless material hold up for such a large mass? As I said, I feel like it wouldn't be a fully seamless body. I feel like you would have, you think of like Thor when he had the swap out arms. I think you would have like legs that peg in, like think of a figure body, like that peg into a body. I think underneath the shorts, you would probably still have like a hard plastic sort of lower part to the body. And then you'd have the upper part clipping in. So think of like the Age of Ultron Hulk, how you got the swap out upper part of the body. Or do a power pose. Would people be down for that? Like if it was power pose with swap out, like the Age of Ultron Hulk had the swap out upper torso. Is that something people would be into if they're worried about the silicone? I wonder. Trembledust says, but see how they did Venom with the legs. Possibly can apply same to Hulk with the pants covering up the connection to the legs, the lower half of the body. That's what I think, because if you look at that Weapon X figure, it looks relatively seamless, but it's not a fully seamless body. So I have to think, again, legs are pegged in, torso is pegged in. You've got wrist seams, but they're easily covered up by the suit. So I do think that's a way to have it appear seamless, but then it's taking some of the stress out of the silicone where traditionally you might get splits. But if you do it that way, I think that helps. You back, madame. Meow. Hello, Shooty. Hawk. Okay, I'll try to remember to say Hawk. Question, Helen, why you're not a fan of articulated fingers? I'm curious. I don't trust that they're not going to split with time. I don't know how well they're going to hold heavy accessories. I'm just not on the silicone figure bandwagon as yet. I don't think we've had them around for long enough to know how they're going to go. The Broke Collector says, fan theory, the new Weapon X silicone body is a test. They are definitely going to do a green Hulk 2.0 full silicone, and then they'll do a red Hulk silicone in a couple of years. Oh, maybe. You never know. That's not a bad theory to have. But look, there were some cool poses with the Hulk. Not all of them hid the seams, but I did think Zord did some pretty cool poses with Cap and the Red Hulk. So if you did like the movie and you want to have them together, like some very cool stuff is possible. I'll be honest, if they're going to 2.0 something, I wish they would 2.0 the first Falcon from Winter Soldier, because I'm so jealous of how well these new wings articulate compared to the one that I got that just have the little pivot bits and you can't get the wings looking very streamlined at all. So yeah, that's something I'd love to see. But yeah, as I said, I'd be keen to know, as I say, my people that watch in the replay, let me know what you think. Because as I said, I feel like some people highly upset by joints, other people can kind of live with them. But as I said, I can understand with this Hulk that people would have hoped with time we would have seen some positive improvements compared to the Avengers versions. And I think we're seeing for the most part the same, but in the case of those knees, I think definitely a lot worse. Shooty, hi. You gonna say hello? You gonna say hello to the people? They've missed you. Look at this tail. Beautiful girl. They've missed you. Do you know how much they've missed you, Shooty? Everybody asks about you. They say it's your YouTube channel and that I'm just your sidekick. Do you agree? Do you agree? What do you think? Do you want to unbox Deathstroke with me? He could give you some weapons to help with your security. Okay, my whole camera is shaking because you are rubbing against my monitor. This is a bit of a turn of events from you, madame. Look at you. Look at you. Little Shuri time. What a treat. What a treat. Everybody loves to see you. I told you. People want to see you on the YouTube, Shuri. You're very cute. Mark says, what happened to the J&D Hulk where the head moved slightly? That was expensive too. I have no idea. Was that a statue or a figure? Shuri has strong feelings about this one. Maybe I think Shuri would like a Hulk. I think Shuri would like a Hulk. We've got Moose's here. He has every Hot Toys Hulk. This looks good enough to get. Fair enough. Is this a spoiler? Austin, you keep dropping this comment and I don't know if it's a spoiler, so I don't like reading out spoilers. So just acknowledging your comment. Laura, man, Zord is a genius at posing. He sure is. He comes up with incredible stuff. He really does. Like that Captain America being held up, like it looks so natural, the way the body's kind of looking limp like that. I just, very, very impressive. Shuri's getting a bit of love. I know, maybe she'll come back. So nice of her. She doesn't often jump up on the desk, but what a treat, what a treat. Sadly, I don't think a new 2.0 Sam Cap will ever see the light of day. His film flopped too hard to justify. No, I don't want a 2.0 Sam Cap. I want a 2.0 Falcon from the Winter Soldier movie in the grey military style outfit. That's what I want to get a 2.0. Because they've 2.0 Cap and they've artisaned Bucky. Let's see it through. Give me a 2.0 of Sam and maybe give Natasha some artisan love. I think it would be great. Everyone's saying hello to Shuri. Renz is here. Sith Hulk. I'm guessing that's to do with the Star Wars, so I don't understand. Look at her tail. It's time for the spotlight. I know, it's so nice, little Shuri to come up. What a treat! What a treat. Austin wants a 2.0 Nick Fury and Hulk as well. Yeah, I think everybody wants that Hulk. I was kind of surprised. I could have envisaged a world in which they made a Nick Fury from the Marvels and no one else. But they didn't do that. So it surprised me they haven't done that, because I think a Nick Fury with an actual leather coat is something that I think a lot of people would have some interest in. Mark agrees. He's down for a 2.0 Nick Fury. Helen, the Red Hulk holding up Sam Wilson cap is awesome. It really is. Like, seriously, that... And think about it. Like, that's not... Like, Hulk is a big figure, but that pose is not going to take up as much space as some of these other poses. So I do think Zord comes up with some really clever stuff. All right. Should we unbox Deathstroke? Let's unbox Deathstroke. I'm going to take 2 seconds. While I'm away, you can hit the like button for little Shuri and maybe for me. I'll be back. Did you hit the like button? I hope you hit the like button. So, I'm going to get rid of the Newsy News slides, because we're done with the Newsy News. Hello, it's me. We're going to unbox Deathstroke. What a treat. All right, so came very well packaged from Giant Toys. I did make a point to take it out of the shipper box because they'd used those like plastic corners and taped it to the box, and it took a while to get done, so I'm glad I did that off camera. I've moved my mic. Let me know if you can still hear me okay, because I am using Firefox, which I don't think has some of the same audio features like Chrome, but Chrome was so glitchy that I don't get it. I'm streaming fine with Firefox, but then Chrome is problematic with the same setup. So I don't know what's going on. Valkyrie's here. Hello, Valkyrie. I'm going to do unboxing time. You've got here just in time. Let me adjust the camera and hope that I don't drop it, because, you know, that'd be funny. Has happened. Stay. Hey, there we go. What a treat. SooSoo Toys, the DeadKiller, SST 58. And it's interesting because if you noticed with the Blade figure, that was like SST 90 something. So they really have a lot of stuff that we're waiting for from them. I'm still waiting for the Supergirl, the CW Supergirl figure. I have one of the Flash figures, and I have the Reverse Flash. So when they posted some update pictures of Deathstroke, they also had some pictures of the Supergirl figure. So I was kind of hoping that's not too far away. But no word on the Flash and the Reverse Flash and all of those figures. So that's a shame. That's a shame. I'm going to chuck this. I'm going to chuck it over there. You can see Shrew's cat scratcher. If she comes back, maybe we'll get a bit of a treat. Can I get this further down? Okay. Hopefully my camera doesn't topple over. It is very vertical. The DeadKiller, based on Deathstroke from the Justice League. As I mentioned before, this is not how I'm going to be using it. I'm going to be using it as a quasi-Deathstroke from the Arrowverse. So the usual things and stuff on the back. Box, interesting picture. We're not here for boxes though, right? Absolutely not here for boxes. Ooh. There we go. Nice little picture there. I think that's very much the picture you always see around the place when they when you look up this Deathstroke online. Oh, hello. What is this? Oh, it's like a big instruction card, is it? It's very nice. Let's have a looky look, because, you know, your girl likes some instructions. This is very big. Like, look how big it is. Okay, let's have a looky look. What do we have here? Okay, talks through the features of the figure. That's cool. So we've got the Deathstroke there. It's got a breakdown of all the accessories. Like, it's got a part list there, which is in English and Chinese. The head is magnetically attached. That's cool. The armor and straps are not removable. Okay, good to know, good to know. We've got the bullets are removable. And we've got metal material for the swords, which I had heard, which is cool. It's actually quite nice, thick stock. It's very nice quality. And then it's got an articulation demonstration. That's nice. I don't think I've ever seen SooSoo do something like this. And I mean, I haven't gotten a new figure from them in a while. But this is a nice little inclusion. Good on you, SooSoo Toys. Don't know that justifies a year delay, but hey, we'll take some nice things. We'll take some nice things. I might move you this way around. Let's get rolling with this unboxing, folks. What's happened here? Okay, we got a bit of things, we got a bit of stuff. What a treat, what a treat. I'm going to start off with the display base. Because I do like that SooSoo Toys have been very consistent with the style of display base they use. So we've got the hexagon base. They like this kind of great pattern. This one's got that sort of bit of a Deathstroke logo type thing. Very nice. We've got a little bit of like damaged look, bit of weathering to it. Very nice. It normally just comes with, I'm not going to get the little stand out, but round stand. Looks cool. I do swap out my bases, as you know. I've got a base with the arrow logo ready to go for it, but as I say, if you're collecting these SooSoo Toys figures, I do like the fact that they've been really consistent with the bases that they use. So I like it. I like it a lot. Where do we start? So we've got a couple of hands on the figure, and then we've got 3 additional pairs of hands there. So we've got gloved hands. I might just get one and see if this will focus on it a bit nicer. So we've got, you can see there's a bit of pattern and detail to the gloves. You know, I don't study a suit, but hopefully SooSoo has, but yeah, it looks nice. So 8 hands in total. I think we only get one gun. Oh, a bit of movement, that's nice. So we do have a little bit of, it's not a very smooth movement, but we do one gun. Still has a nice little bit of detail to it. You can see a bit of a pattern there. I know nothing. I'm not from America. Do I know anything about guns? Absolutely not. But we do have some movement in the weapon, which is always nice when there's a little bit of movement there. So that's nice. One gun only for Deathstroke. And then we've got a couple of swords, katanas, whatever you want to call them. So this first one has a very scrappy bit of material at the end. Looking very nice. A little bit of metal detail. We've got some detail on the handle there. I feel like, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to improve the lighting. I feel like it wasn't focusing well, so I'm hoping this will make it better for you guys. Hopefully that's better. See how we've got a few little bit of details here. Bit of weathering. Yeah, this definitely feels like metal to me. Very solid. Pretty sure this is not plastic. Looks really nice. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if these are what these little symbols are meant to be. I'm not entirely sure, but looks nice, looks nice. Fits well. Back here, we've got his second sort of blade here. Again, the sort of scabbard looks like it's seen some action. Got these little circle bits, handle. Oh yeah, this definitely quite heavy. Like there's a bit of weight to it. The blades are actually quite thick as well. So they look very nice to me. They look very nice. Now I'm wondering if those instructions had anything about placement. Jim's here. Hey, Jim. Yeah, this is the SooSoo Toys DeadKiller, aka Deathstroke, based on the Justice League, but I'm going to use it for my Arrowverse display because I never got a Manu Bennett Deathstroke, and I really want one. So it comes with 2 masked head sculpts. I think the one on the figure is maybe a bit cleaner, and this one is a bit more battle damaged here. So we can see there definitely quite a bit of damage to the sculpt. And of course, attaches magnetically, which is interesting. See how we go, but here we go. I think it looks nice. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Never know how to say the actor's name. Is it Joe Manganiello? I'm so sorry if that's not how you say it. Jim says SooSoo makes some great figures. They do. They really do. So we've got the head sculpt here. If some custom artist wants to make me a Manu Bennett head sculpt that is compatible with this, please do. Please do. Look, I like the head sculpt. I think it looks nice. I'd say I'm going to use it with the mask, but I think there's definitely a lot of detail in the sculpted hair. Like, they've definitely got a lot of detail there, which is always nice. Same with the goatee as well. The eye patch is sculpted into the sculpt, which I think is a good way to do it. You've got a little bit of, obviously, the shading here to kind of imitate like the shaved head. I think this is a pretty nice sculpt. I've got no major concerns having a look at it. I think it's pretty nicely done. Pretty nicely done. I feel like I want to, you know, I like an instruction. Does it say anything about attaching? Okay, so the blades go on his back. I think if you did want to use the head sculpt, that's definitely a cool pose, showing him holding the helmet. Let's get the figure out, shall we? There's definitely some weight to this. There is definitely some weight to this figure. The fun part always of pulling off the plastic fantastics. I don't like it when they're not loose enough for you to just pull off. Because I think the sticky tape is quite tight around the old elbows. Yeah, this definitely has quite a bit of weight to it. I'm a little bit surprised with how hefty he feels. Do I have scissors rather than a blade? Yes, I do. Sorry, not the most compelling viewing, but I'm trying to determine. Oh, I'll just yank them out harder. That's a strategy in and of itself, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Happy days, happy days. All right. Move this over to the side. Let me take a bit of a look. So yeah, definitely magnetic. Reminds me a little bit of if you've got like the DX12, how that kind of attaches. Interesting, because it's got a bit of a sort of cloth suit underneath with the sort of armor parts over it. I think that's probably what's adding a bit of weight to it. So some of these straps are definitely like part of the suit and feeling plastic. These ones are more material around the legs, but these ones here definitely more plastic part of the suit, I wouldn't be trying to remove them. But I think it looks nice. As I say, I'm quite impressed by the weight of it. As I said, there's what feels like a fabric suit underneath, and then you've obviously got quite a few armor plates above. You've also got these where they're the ones that the instructions say are removable. So you've got these here. We've got the back of the figure, so the 2 swords go in there. We'll pop them in. Then you've got the holster on the leg for the gun. I'm really doing a great job showing it, aren't I? Amazing. I think it looks nice. Let's the head obviously being on a magnet, lots of movement there. That's not going to be a problem. Let's look at some articulation, shall we? Let me have the boy out. There. So with the arms, you can get a little bit, but it's definitely not going to come up parallel to his shoulder. So a little bit of movement there. Okay, on the wrist, on the elbow, we can get a bit above 90, which is pretty good. If you move the guard up a bit, you can get movement in the wrist. It's good. Yeah, torso, you're not going to get much movement at all. This is all a solid piece. You've got the straps in there. So yeah, I don't think you're going to get much as far as a crunch that's going to hold. That's not really going to work. So even with the legs, like, yeah, not a huge amount of movement there with the fabric in the suit. Let's check out the knees. The knee's respectable. It's roughly around 90 on the knee, so that's not too bad. This armor bit moves up from the boot, so ankle has a really good range of movement in it. That's not going to be a problem at all. Just with this angle, I just don't know how to best show you the full figure. I'm happy with it. Arrow, as I say, on Arrow, Deathstroke was more kind of black and orange, which was the reason I kind of got this one. I might try to pop the head sculpt on it. Let's hope that doesn't go horribly wrong for me on a live stream. Oh, goodness. Are you going to come out for me, buddy? Okay, we got there eventually. Let's see what the sculpt looks like on this guy. Okay, this looks really cool with the sculpt. I just wish it was Manu. I wish it was Manu Bennett, but it's not Manu Bennett. I really like it with the head sculpt. I think it looks really cool. Very nice. I know some people were complaining about, not complaining, but commenting that it maybe wasn't to scale with the Batfleck Batmans that they wanted. I mean, I don't know that you're getting this Deathstroke by anyone else. So I think, you know, it's going to be up to everyone to decide if it's for them or not. Let me see what the order is of the katanas, how they're meant to go. Okay, you're meant to go. Is that right? No. There. I think you're... Oh, it's quite good because with these holsters for the swords, there's a difference in the height, so you don't have to worry about the order that you put it in because one is higher than the other. So I do like the look of him. I do, And I mean, I can see a comment saying it does look undersized. As I said, me looking at this figure, it doesn't look undersized to me. I also don't have any Batman figures to know how big they are. But if I'm looking at this as a standard figure, it looks big to me. I think it looks really solid. I think, as I said, I don't know if the heights of the different actors, whatnot, but for me, I'm not looking at this, and I think SooSoo has had a bit of a history, particularly with their earlier figures where the bodies were a bit small. I think of things like the Flash and Zoom. This doesn't suffer for that. And actually, you know what? I'm very impressed with how sturdy the hands have been, because SooSoo has had an issue with their hands where they don't always connect that amazingly. But for me, I'm liking how this looks. I do. I'm liking the way this looks. Why don't we, I'll get a stand, and what I might do is compare the different masks. So one mask they're actually the same. I thought one was clean and one was damaged, but no, one has the face sculpt in there to wear, and the other one does not have the sculpt in there, more for holding. So otherwise, they are pretty identical. Let me show you. They're very similar. As I said, I thought one might be more clean and one might be more battle damaged, but looking particularly at this side, they look very similar. So I think that is the difference, is that one is the wearable sculpt with the eye, one is more to hold, which I think is a bit of a bummer. I think it would have been nice if both of them were wearable. So there you can see their magnetic attachment for the neck. It's relatively strong, actually. It's got a bit of pull to it, so feels pretty secure. It's a shame. I really like the head sculpt, but the head sculpt is not the Deathstroke that I want. If any custom artist is out there and you want to make a Manu Bennett head sculpt that is compatible with this, I like it. I'm very, very happy with it. So what I'll do is I'll find a way to prop up Mr. Deathstroke. I'll go through the comments, and if people have any questions, I'm happy to answer. It's a great visual of my hand, isn't it? What a treat. Hi, it's me. Let's get a bit of a makeshift set up here for Mr. Deathstroke. Trying to think where the best place is for him. There we go. Deathstroke, SooSoo Toys. SooSoo, you might be slow, but I think he did a nice job with this one. As I said, I'm pretty happy with this. Let me just find where I'm up to. Hey, it's Seven Jelly. I hope that's how I say your name. How are we doing, everyone? Snyderverse Deathstroke looks sick. I think it looks fantastic. I'm very happy with it. Said hello to Jim earlier. Austin says he looks good. Helen, great choice. Thank you. Oh. Mangiello. Okay. I knew I was going to say his name wrong. Joe Mangiello. Thank you. Mike says, I saw the actor's name who played Deathstroke and I walked away from that one too, Helen. I made it as far as Joe. Yeah, but even with like American accents with European names. They'll pronounce things slightly different. So yeah. He's excellent in Magic Mike too. I saw that. Was he in that? It was a long time ago, that movie. High on Figures, does it feel weighty? It definitely does. It definitely does. Like there's a lot of as I say, it's a bit of a fabric undersuit, but then you've got so many armor parts that are attaching the shins, the thighs, the chest plate, on the shoulder, on the back. So this definitely has weight to it. There's definitely a lot of weight to this figure. Jim says he looks pretty good. I'd say easily a standout on display. I think this is going to be a big standout in my Arrow shelf, so I'm very excited to have it. Am I impressed with it? Yeah, I am. I'm quite impressed with it, actually. Trembledust says, I like Deathstroke. He's a great character. Figure Fan for Life says, looks good with the head sculpt. As I said, I had no intent on displaying it with the head sculpt. But I really like the head sculpt. And I know some people have said, is the masked head a bit undersized? I don't know. I mean, I think it probably is quite narrow compared to the head sculpt, which is probably a little bit undersized, because in theory it should be a bit bigger than the head, right? Like if he's meant to be wearing it, it should be bigger. I feel like it maybe needed to be a touch bigger. Maybe a touch bigger it needed to be. Let's get you so the peeps can see you, buddy, because you look so good, and we've waited so long for you, dude. High on Figure says it looks undersized. As I said, like, I don't have a back fleck to comment, but me looking at this as someone who has 100+ figures, I'm not going, oh my God, this is tiny compared to, as I say, when I got the SooSoo Toys Flash and Zoom, and they were genuinely very undersized. I kind of don't feel that way about him. Oh, Valkyrie, I did like Manu Bennett as Deathstroke. Me too. I so want a Manu Bennett head sculpt for this. Laura says, man, this is making me want to play with my toys. You should absolutely go play with your toys. Does his sword feel nice, cold, and weighty? Yeah, they do. They definitely feel cold. These are metal. These are not plastic. These are definitely metal. These are thick. I definitely don't think these are plastic. Definitely die cast, I would say. 14 Wellington says the likeness is very solid. Yeah, I think this looks really nice. Trembledust says the only other 6-scale Deathstroke I know of is the Hot Toys Arkham Knight Deathstroke, but that's an old figure, still looks good. Yeah, I've seen that Deathstroke and I've admired it, and there was a time where I was considering it for my Arrow collection, but it wasn't quite the right looking suit. Whereas I said, this is not spot on, but I felt like it was a bit closer to Manu's suit, where I was like, okay, I can let my mind pretend that this is Manu. The mask is quite different to Manu's, which is a shame. So that's why I'm hoping someone will do a Manu sculpt. Mark says, Helen, he looks really good. Thanks for the unboxing. You're welcome. Thanks for coming along to watch. Oh, wait, there is that Apocalypse Deathstroke someone made. Can't remember the company who did it. Same that did the Nightmare Flash. Was that Turning Point? Was it Turning Point? Because they did one, and it came out a lot quicker than this. Because I'm waiting for people to compare the two. I feel like it was Turning Point. Is your faith in SooSoo restored? I mean, I've always felt like SooSoo can release a nice looking figure. Like, that's not been my critique. I think it's the speed. Like, as I said, this is, what was this? SooSoo Toys 58, and the Blade is like 92. So there's, what, 30 odd figures? Where are they? So I think it's the production speed is the thing that's getting me a bit frustrated. I think it'll be interesting to see the Melissa Benoist, I never know how to say her name, Supergirl, because that head sculpt didn't look amazing. So I'm keen to see that in hand. But I think the big one I'm keen to see is to see the Flash and the Reverse Flash, because the first Flash I have in Zoom were some of their earlier figures. So it will be really interesting to see how far they've come as far as the body proportions, the suit materials, articulation, all that kind of stuff. So as I said, I have quite a few of their figures. I like them all. They just a bit patchy with the releases. Where do you plan on displaying this bad boy? He's going to go in my Arrowverse collection that you kind of can't see. Next to one of the Green Arrows. Well, next to one of the Green Arrows. The Broke Collector says, my favourite Slade Wilson is from Teen Titans. I've never seen Teen Titans. I'm sure that shocks no one. Will Deathstroke figure replace your 1.0 Harvey Dent in the display? I have no idea what you mean. Harvey Dent 1.0 is not even in my display. I have no idea what you're talking to. How tall is Deathstroke? Goodness me, do I have... Oh, I've got a tape measure because I'm prepared. I'm totes profesh. Your girl's totes profesh. Let me get him off the stand for a moment. How tall are you, homie? I have him at 31 centimeters, which is a little bit more than 12 inches. That's what I'm measuring him at here. Maybe a little bit more than 31, but a little bit more than a foot. There he is, looking great. Will this make you pre-order their Blade figure? No, because I don't feel like that's a character I need in my collection. Austin says, I think the head sculpt works. Me too. I might Mangiello. What? I think, is this a typo somewhere? I don't know what that means, Valkyrie. Oh, sorry, here we go. Joe Mangiello played Flash Thompson in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. Did he? I'm the worst at that, This Deathstroke kicks Deadpool's ass. Your comment, not mine. Exactly, Helen, there's no need to freak out about certain aspects of the head sculpt. Art is subjective. I mean, I think it's fine. Deathstroke and Deadshot are just Temu versions of Deadpool. Ash Chase, I've got your back. Where is Ash? I haven't seen Ash in ages. Oh, Van Beanie. Hello, another new name. I'm still waiting for Nightwing 2.0, mate. Some of us have been waiting a long time, hence why I call them So Slow Toys, because bless them, we've been waiting a long time for some of this stuff. Sometimes it takes a while to duck the cease and desist orders for copyright infringements, lol, at So Slow Toys. I mean, maybe that is part of it. I don't know. But this is what gets me is like a lot of companies, they started off quite communicative and that has died off with time. And this is where I feel like for me, like I'm a pretty patient collector. I just think if you've got the group, just say, guys, it's delayed. It's not coming this year. Like, give people something. But when people are in that vacuum, and that's why I understand why people like don't ask me when it's coming, because they don't know. And do they have time to ask every company when something's coming out? Probably not. So as I say, I just think if you've got a group, it takes no time to post to tell people what's coming out. And even if you just go, these figures are delayed, they're going to come out next year. At least give people something. Helen will get the J&D Two-Face, of course. Who told you that? That's not happening. Would you buy 6-scale Tim Tams? I think Mike said it best. Why not just buy full-size Tim Tams? I don't want plastic Tim Tams. I want real Tim Tams I can eat in my mouth. That's what I want. Do I have anything else coming in the next couple of weeks? Not that I'm aware of. Jazz and Catwoman's not coming out anytime soon, Austin. I wouldn't even be asking that question. They're saying July, and I don't even believe it. But what's coming next from me? I don't know. I'm still waiting on the Mars Toys Harvey Dent, which they said would be out in April. Lol. So Mars Toys Harvey Dent, or I'm guessing my next thing from pop culture will probably be Strike Suit Cap. But what's coming next? I don't know. Harvey Dent, hopefully, but I don't know what's happening with that. Technically, Tim Tams are already 1/6 scale shrinkflation. No, the Tim Tams have been all right. They haven't shrunk. Accessory Tim Tams to Deathstroke. He doesn't need Tim Tams. He's sweet enough. Tremble Dust says, to be honest, I've come close to cancelling SooSoo figures because they take so long, i.e. Blade version 1. I actually did cancel Gambit because it was taking forever, but then got another PO like 2 months before release. It's interesting because I feel like SooSoo figures, they never overproduce. So I think they're quite hard to find after release. And I'm not normally the person that says, oh, just sell it later. But I feel like if you were going to do that with third party, I feel like some of these SooSoo Toys figures, like you think of like Mr. Ice, some of the Daredevil figures they've done, I feel like they're not so mass produced that the value goes down and you're going to struggle to sell it. AJ says, I had a Tim Tam today, so I agree with the real ones. Yeah, real Tim Tams. Don't want fake Tim Tams. Oh my God, figure fan for life. What are Tim Tams? Donuts. We have Timbits here, the donut holes. Look. Tim Tams are a delicious Australian chocolate biscuit. It's 2 biscuits with a filling, a chocolate filling coated in chocolate. But then there's like line extensions. So there's caramel Tim Tams. There's mint chocolate Tim Tams. There's all kinds of Tim Tams. If you Google, you'll see them. They're not like Timbits. I've been to Canada and I've had Timbits like the donut holes. Tim Tams are, I'm sorry, they're way better. Because when you've looked up Tim Tams, then look up Tim Tam Slam. Because you can't do that with a Timbit. Can't do that with a Timbit. Australia's gift to the world is Tim Tams. I don't know if you're still here, Laura, but thank you for coming. Hope you have a nice weekend. Now that's what I'm talking about. I'm waiting on Strike Suit Cap. Also, I'm definitely waiting on the 2.0 Winter Soldier. Me too. I don't know what's happening with Artisan Bucky. I'm just patiently waiting and hoping he'll be awesome. Ramstein fan you got your Strike Suit Cap 2 days ago. He's dope. I'll probably get him in 2 months. Did you pre-order any nice figures this month or in April? I've definitely not pre-ordered anything this month. What did I pre-order in April? I think it was only the Mars. Was the Mars Toys Harvey Dent in March or April? I don't think I've really pre-ordered anything Hot Toys like this calendar year. I feel like everything I've pre-ordered from a Hot Toys perspective was last year. And I'm just waiting for stuff to come in now. So they haven't really announced anything that I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get that. So yeah, I think the Mars Toys Harvey Dent is probably the last figure I've pre-ordered. It's a little bit sad. Trembledor says, I have thoughts on Strike Suit 2.0, and this is going to sound elitist, but if you have the Endgame Stealth Suit cap, Strike Suit 2.0 you can skip. The head sculpt is better, but proportions met. See, I have the original one, and that figure has not aged well, so for me, it's a huge upgrade. With all due respect, SooSoo Toys is a very busy company. There's no way they have 30 seconds in a day to update their customers. I know, right? Too busy. Valkyrie says, I'm so glad my local store sells Tim Tams. Delicious. Tim Tams want to pretend to be the Ferrero Rocher of Australia. This is not even a comparison. What's a Ferrero Rocher? It's not even a biscuit, mate. What are you even talking about? Don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, I'll check it out. They sound yummy. They are delicious. If you can find Tim Tams, you won't regret it, but also Tim Tam Slam, a chewy caramel Tim Tam, and thank me later. I'm on Vancouver Island. Don't think we have Tim Tams here. Oh my God, I was in Vancouver Island less than 2 years ago, and it is a beautiful part of the world. I really enjoyed it there. I had really nice poutine, and I had a beaver tail. I really liked Vancouver Island. I stayed there for like 3 days. It was so much fun. I caught the ferry from Seattle to Vancouver Island, and then from Vancouver Island to Vancouver itself. I really loved it there. That's such a beautiful part of the world. Very cool. Collection Obsession says, I have the Flashpoint Studios Death Knell Deluxe version, aka Snyder Cut Deathstroke. Have you seen that Deathstroke? I've seen it. I don't own it because they both went up for PO at a similar time, and I didn't really have any experience with Flashpoint Studios, whereas I have a lot of SooSoo figures, so I put my money in the SooSoo's column, and here we are. Austin says also, question Helen, were you ever going to get the 89 Harvey Dent? Yeah, I've got it on pre-order. It should be coming out soon. When they put it up for pre-order, they said it was a short PO window and you had to pay for it in full with kit. So I've ordered it. Whenever it's released, I will get it, and I'll unbox it here. Figure Fan for Life says, I have quite a few Hot Toys POs. Yelena, amazing choice. Endoskeleton, Galactus, John Wick, Weapon X, to name a few. Oh, and John Wick. Nice. I have Yelena on PO. I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. I've got both versions of the John Wick Chapter 1. I'm keen to see how that... You haven't even tried a Tim Tam Han figures, and you're trying to compare them to a Ferrero Rocher. This is not a comparison. It's like an apple and an orange. A Ferrero Rocher is like a chocolate. A Tim Tam is a delicious biscuit. Austin says, I tried Tim Tams as well. Thanks, Helen, for turning me onto them. You're absolutely welcome. Figure Fan for Life, glad to hear you liked your visit here. Gorgeous place to live. Awesome. So you saw Victoria? I did. It was such a cool place to visit. I did. And Seattle had changed a lot since I'd been there last. So Victoria also felt like a nice change of pace. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad I stayed there for a few days and didn't just do like a day trip like a lot of people do. So I really got to explore it. I really loved it there. It was cool. Mike says, I'm going through major Tim Tam withdrawal. I'm considering suing Target for not carrying them anymore. I mean, you should. You should get like a class action and take legal recalls. Oh, next time you're in Seattle, drop by and say hi. I mean, if I ever am back there again, I promise I will. I don't know when my next trip to America will be. I don't know, because, you know, some stuff's going on there, guys. Caramel are the best. Chewy caramel are pretty amazing. They're pretty amazing, Tim Tams. Oh, Helen, I owe you a big apology regarding the Hot Toys DX19. I heard that you were in the market for a Hot Toys DX19 that I just sold, a brand new unopened unit. What other figures you're looking for? No, that's fine, because I think postage from America would make it difficult. But I was more trying to understand, Hawk, how well the DX19 fits into the Dark Knight Rises armory, because I want to get the armory suit into my display, but the DX12, which is what I currently have, is too short for the armory. And I have seen people selling the DX19s in Australia, but I more wanted to know from someone, how does the height go? Because I'm hoping it doesn't have a gap like the DX12 does. And I wouldn't have thought it would, because I know the DX19 is taller. So I'm more just trying to find someone who has both that can send me a photo to go, yes, this works, or no, it doesn't. Do you like to watch other figure YouTube channels? I mean, I'll be honest, I don't watch as much as I used to. I mainly watch Costa at Pop Culture Living Room. I watch Iron Logan and Figure Posing Channel. I like Figure Hideout's reviews when he does the longer reviews. I do prefer longer content. So Figure Hideout I like. I watch some of MRC's reviews, but I feel like he's been a bit quiet with the longer reviews as well. Six Scale Kawu, like, he does some quick little unboxing showcase videos, which I quite like. So they're probably the main ones I'm watching at the moment. But I'll be honest, I'm watching less nowadays, because some of the content being put out there is not enjoyable to me. I bought Tim Tams through Amazon in America. There you go. Correct, Helen, don't come to America right now. Yeah, I was there during the election, and that felt dramatic enough. So I'll wait before my next visit. But I've been to America 3 times, and I definitely, there's more places in the States I want to visit. I definitely want to go back to Canada, so it will happen eventually. I mean, if the exchange rate gets better, that would probably also help, but we'll see. I love SooSooToys Display. Great creativity. Love his DTOS. Yeah, I think people do some great stuff with DTOS. I kind of don't get the hate on DTOS. I think they're really nice for smaller collections of figures, so I'm a fan. Get Helen to 1 million subs. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but if I can get to 5,000 subs, that'll be nice. I think I'm at 4.5. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, maybe chuck me a sub, chuck me a like. I'd appreciate it. Trembledust says, I like Figure Hideout, but he seems to be focusing more on shorts content. I liked his full reviews, but hey, yeah, I don't know if you were here last week when I said it, Trembledust. I actually did say to Figure Hideout that I miss his longer form videos, which was probably very cheeky of me to say, but I was also trying to encourage him to leave his live streams up, because he live streams, but then he takes them down. So if you miss them, and there's no notice of when they go live, if you miss them, you miss them. And I would genuinely be interested in watching his streams, because he's one of the few people that has a direct line to Hot Toys. So I was trying to say to him, like, I think people would watch your streams, and PS, I get why you're doing more shorts, but I miss your longer reviews. And that's what I wonder, because I'm going, sometimes if no one says it, maybe they go, oh, okay, maybe people are happier with short form content. But I do feel like people are moving into more that TikTok short form. Here's my $800 figure. I broke my $800 figure. But that content doesn't appeal to me. It just doesn't. I want a nice, long, detailed review is what I would like. Did you hit the East Coast during any of your trips to the US? Yes. Once upon a time, I worked at a summer camp in Warrensburg, New York, believe it or not. I've been to Vermont. I've been to Boston. I've been to New York. I've been to Washington, D.C. Where else have I been? I've been to I went to Edison, New Jersey. If anybody lives in Edison, New Jersey, I'm so sorry, but I would never go back there again. I went there to go to a con. How far do you consider east? Because I feel like I've been to quite a few places in the States. Like if I talk Indiana, is that still east or is that more like central? I don't know. I feel like I've done quite a bit of the east, south, and west coast. I would like to go back and see places like Utah and Colorado, because when I went to Canada, I got a real thing for that kind of nature and hiking and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, I should do more of those national parks. So I don't know how far away from the coast is still considered east. I don't know. Never say never. No, I don't think I do enough content, and I don't think I do enough sensationalist clickbaity stuff to ever reach 1 million subs. Tremble Dust. I did not hear that last week. Missed last week's show. True, it streams. Yeah, I think so many more people would watch his streams on replay than he realizes. So I hope he considers it. Tremble Dust also says there are a few creators who I'll not mention that have shorts. I clicked to watch and I'm like, WTF was that? Yeah, I'm really not into the shorts content. Helen, you skipped the Philly area. I've not been to Philly, and I'll be honest, on my last trip to the States, I did not go to the East Coast. I only went as far east as Tampa, and most of my trip was like, I was in Texas, I was in Arizona, I was in Oregon, and I was in Seattle. But yeah, I have not. And if I promised Costa that next time I go to the US, I'll go visit him. So next visit, I'm gonna be in Philly. Indiana is more Midwest. Okay, I didn't think that would be considered East, but I've been there too. What a treat. New York is FL Florida, etc. is East Coast. Okay, so Florida. So I've been to Florida. I've been to Tampa, which I really liked. It's just very humid, but I really liked. I really liked Tampa. That must be everywhere east I've been, because then I think other places would be considered more south and then west coast. Good point, Helen. I'll message Figure Hideout as well about producing longer content. Maybe he'll change his mind and do so. Well, as I said, I figure if you don't give people that feedback, they don't know. But my biggest thing is he went, I don't think my streams are that interesting. And I was like, you are wrong. I would definitely watch your streams if you had them available on a replay. All right. We're at midnight. Happy Saturday to me. So I think I might wrap up. I don't know if anybody's got any questions about Deathstroke before I go. Let me hide the comment. He's got a bit of the arm sticking out because he's got a lot going on. But look, I think it's a really nice looking figure. So you took a while, but I think you did a good job with this one. I'm very impressed. I'll take some photos of him, pop him on Instagram. I might for something different do a comparison picture of this and the SooSoo Green Vigilante, because as I said, that's what I'm going to be showing it with. I don't have a Batfleck to post it alongside to compare, so I can't do that for you. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. As I said before, if you want to drop a like, appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, also appreciate it. Happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. If it's Mother's Day where you live, make sure you spoil your mum. Let her know how much you love her. I will be spoiling my mum on Sunday. I don't know what Shuri will be doing for me. Probably nothing, because she thinks she's my mum. But I hope you come back next week to talk about I don't know what, but 2 unboxings in a row. What a treat. That was so much fun. Figure fan Velocity, enjoy your new figure. We'll have great shelf presents and other good stream. Thanks. Well, thank you for coming to hang out. People saying thanks for the stream. I appreciate it. Like for the Tim Tams. I mean, if you're gonna like for anything, like the fact that I have introduced you to the deliciousness of Tim Tams. They're so good. Trust me. Trust me. You might not trust my unpopular views on the Star Wars, but trust me when I say Tim Tams are the best biscuit in the world. On that note, thank you guys for coming to hang out. I will see you next week. Maybe Shuri will see you next week. Have a good weekend. Happy Mother's Day.